Okay, people, it's the next day. We're running these videos back to back here. Well, I'm in the good old X Club, aka / painting room / little mini greenhouse, right? You know what? For a woman, I mean, there's nothing I can do about this. This has always been like this, okay? I mean, go back into my videos, right? Now, we still got water pooling up in there, so I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I got my little science experiments going on in there. You can see that. But nothing seems to be really too wet. Like, I don't know if that's like from, because maybe I didn't empty it out. Because as it is right now, what I did up there, I'm telling you people, I think I solved a problem. I don't see nothing wet here. Nothing. There's nothing. No water. No water. No water. Where's the water? No water. It's all dry. Dry. Not even leaking in here. Yeah, so far anyway. That's not to say when the heavy rains come. Oh, I see a little drop right there. Okay? So it's, you know, it's coming in from that seam in there, but what are you going to do, right? Like this stuff, they should make this stuff like they used to. This is the original fiberglass roofing when I first moved into this house, and you know, this porch is old, people. This should have been torn down a long time ago. Okay, it's been my loving, tender care that's kept it up. Okay, mainly this little unit right here. Okay, that's been the baby that's really held up that roof up in there. Anyway, whatever I did over here, you know, back in the day, you know, I have those videos, right? Okay, I mean, I don't see nothing wet here, people. Oh wait, there's a little bit there. Okay, right? Because of, you know, again, right? I mean, there's only so much, right? But the point is, this stuff is so much better than the new crap that they make. Okay, like this stuff has been here for what, 11 years, and it was probably up for like 6, 7, 8, 10 years before I moved in, and it's still holding up. You get this clear plastic that they got nowadays, it's useless. Seriously, useless. It blows off, it breaks, it snaps. This stuff is like hardy, real hardy. I wish they would make it like the good old days. Anyway, I just came in here. Oh, look, there's my jacket. I was wondering what it was. I just came in here just to see what my handiwork did, if it worked. And for the most part, you know, honestly, being that I didn't get into Mr. Lace's hen house, or I should say Mr. Lace's cat house, that over there, because I was going to turn that into a little mini lettuce room, right, with my grow lights. I've got the grow lights, I got everything, people, right, got the seeds, got it all now. I just haven't been outside because, you know, I put food first in terms of long-term food storage to get me through for the next year or two, right? And we're talking quality food here. So in the meantime, if I really wanted to, I could insulate this room a little better, right? Especially in this corner. Take this whole corner right in here, insulate it, bring in a little heater, you know, bring in that shiny stuff as a reflector. I already got a plug, you can see, and I could plug in my grow lights, and I could turn this into this little area right in here. I could turn this into a little mini greenhouse for, you know, just salad vegetables, right? You know, those little leaves and stuff, eh? But I don't have time for that, but I could. I might. I doubt it. It's possible. You never know, right? You know, if I had more help, it could get done in a day, right? That's where men come in handy. But my son, you know, he's tree cutter, so he's not up to, you know, doing the things that I do, right? So he just kind of lets me do what I want. But anyway, this, whatever I did up there, it worked, right? None of this is wet. I don't feel anything. I don't feel nothing, right? Nothing. It's nothing. Oh, a little bit there. Okay, there's a little bit of water there. So it's coming in from there, you can see. Okay, because this was all kind of broken. I just used what I had that was available at the time. But outside of that, it's not dripping in here for the most part. right? So I'm pretty pleased with this, right? Pretty pleased with this. So now, if you just, as a side note, right? If you're ever in a situation like this, you can do it for a car too. And you know, you got stuff around that you want to keep in storage, and you want to make everything go dormant without it getting mildewy or mold. All you do is just run a utility light. You just leave it on, okay? And the light kills off mildew and prevents mold, no matter how cold it is. And everything just pretty much goes into a dormant state. Otherwise, the moisture after a while, you know, can get mildewy, huh? Okay? But if you're trying to prevent that, you know, your car from molding up because you've got it parked for the winter or whatever it may be, just run a light, a utility light, and keep it burning. I didn't do that last year. It held up pretty good because, you know, I blanket things. Now I've got a blanket on my porch that needs to go over this because, you know, these get damp, right? Normally I double blanket this, so maybe I'll try and wash that now that it's on my mind, and then take the time to hang it back up in there, because what's in there is all kids stuff for like school, right? Like science. Okay, that's where that Fukushima, pre-Fukushima water is. Pre-Fukushima. Okay, it's still sitting in there. And this is all kids stuff in here too, pretty much. You can see little drums and there's, you know, all kinds of stuff in there. Right, and then I've got the bells for Andre back in the day when we did that. That's still sitting there. So anyway, I just wanted to double check to see how it went, and it looks like I did a pretty good job. So I'm pleased with that, people. Yeah. See, this is what's the problem, right? Because when they recovered the roof, you know, they didn't put that lip thing in there to make it so that the water can just go that way, right? Like, they just do half-ass jobs, right? And those guys that were working on the roof over there, I mean, obviously they're not interested in doing that. Otherwise, they would have called, right? Now, this is something that I did, 2 years ago? You can see I have to get up there and staple it back on. Right, I still have to lay down my board over here. Again, a leaky bolt is better than no bolt. But, you know, and obviously I didn't get outside much this year, people, because one, I've got Amari, and two, you know, I did a lot of that food stuff, right? Next year, I won't have to do any of that. But, you know, like, this is, like, I can't stand this. Like, you just don't know. Like, it's so... And I don't have inside stairs. You know, when people going up and down, or if I want to go up and down, it's pathetic. Oh, there's Mickey the gardener cat. Right, Mickey? Yeah, Mickey. Mickey the gardener cat. She's a gardener cat. Mickey. Mickey's getting old. She's starting to get gray hair, people. Mickey's like 11 years old. Mickey, you're getting gray hair. I can see it. And so we begin. Yeah, getting ready for oxygen absorbers. Wait. All this over a fucking water tank. A water tank that's defective, people. Completely fucking defective. From Home Depot. Well, I'm just getting a bunch of Mickey Mouse running around bullshit crap. See that water tank over there? I asked them to take it to the fucking road. They left it there. I don't know. My son's mad because I've been doing food storage. You know, I haven't had a chance to put everything away. I have to rearrange shit. Look at this. As if I need more work, right? As if I need more fuck. That's what that other fucking trashy dude did. Ripped up all the fucking pipes. Hold on a minute. Okay, people. I wasn't going to do a video like this, but I'm going to do it now. Do you see? It's October 26, 2021. But before I start, I want to say that I've been noticing that Google is starting to censor BitChute. Okay? right? They're trying to remove them, scrub them off the search engine. Okay? They're making it hard to log into their site. Okay, you can still find them, but they're an issue. So, okay, do you see? Results of the second controlled experiment, plus tobacco virus, rabies, graphene, Dr. Stefan Lanka. Okay, I haven't watched this video yet, but I can only imagine what it's about. So in the meantime, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about here. Because it just doesn't get better, people. Okay? I don't know how I'm going to say what I got to say, but I'm going to say it. Let me start with the water tank. We won't talk about the leaky porch. We won't talk about the fucking sliding door that comes off its rails and screeches, and sometimes you can't even open the bloody thing because the frame is so busted up that it's amazing that the door doesn't really stay on it. It barely stays on it. But anyway, what else was there? We won't talk about the gutters. And we won't talk about the lights. Okay? Not right now. We will in a little bit, though, okay? And we sure and fuck won't talk about my eyes. I'm probably going to end up crying with this, people. Okay? Like, all right. My water tank last year, I paid for gutters, but the guy didn't do a good job because I'm expected to find these people, right? So I found somebody off of Craigslist or something, or some fucking website, newspaper, I don't know. So this year, I ended up spending, what, $230, $270 for some fucking bozo to start trashing my shit. It's still sitting out there, right? Had me buy this, had me buy that. I had to fire him, right? Because I don't know what the fuck he started doing. So I asked my landlady, like, can you help me? Because it's not like I haven't been trying, people, okay? My son, it's not your responsibility. And I'm like, you don't think I don't know this? But, if I don't fucking do anything, people, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. In the beginning, you're going to see the X Club. I'm going to put this after the X Club, after the jars, because they're just short little clips. And then I'm going to put this on, okay? Because this is what's been happening for the last few days. Now, I'm at the tail end of my food storage. Okay, I overspent. We know that. I've already done videos on it. No regrets, though, people, because I'm not a single person that can go out and make $3,500, $4,000 a month, have my expenses, and and not have to worry outside of my bubble. Okay? I've got dependent children. I'm on low income with still a high debt load because of what CIBC Bank and Fraser Health Authority did. I've lost 2 daughters and basically a son, Brooks, because I have no real relationship with him, people. I don't. I haven't for years. I've inherited 2 grandchildren, and I already said it, they're damaged. Amari severely damaged at the hands of the healthcare system. I've got a landlord that basically doesn't want me here because she wants more money. even though she's 82 and sick all the time. I don't know where she's taking the money, but she just wants more fucking money. And being that she can't get more money out of me, she doesn't want to spend money because she doesn't want the fucking house because she wants to sell it to make money and get rid of the fucking problem. But she feels sorry for me, so she lets me stay. So I'm between a rock and a hard spot. But I know I have to leave sooner or later. Everybody wants me to just give away my shit, thousands and thousands and thousands worth of shit. I haven't sewn since I basically moved into this house because I spent so much time in this yard because the yard was trash when I moved in. And I tried to make a home for my family as my family was being picked off one by one by the predators in the community. Right? As I'm being stalked by a sicko still to this day. Literally, people. Okay? The ones that follow my channel, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? So I keep my curtains closed. I lock my doors still because I don't know who's creeping my yard. It's been like that for years. Basically because of this stalker bitch that probably had a hand in killing my daughter and got away with it. Right? I mean, what you gonna do? Live your life? So anyway, I'm asking my landlady to fix the gutters, right? Help me out with that. And the lights. I've been waiting for over a year, people, for these lights. Okay? I tried to find somebody else, 2 other people over there. They don't want to do it. They said they were going to do it. They didn't want to do it. The ones that said that we're going to do it never came back and fucking did it. Okay? Okay. And then my landlady says, well, ask this guy next door if his roofer guys can do it. We just went through that, what, a week and a half ago? Yeah, don't worry, yeah. Not doing it. Don't care. They don't fucking care, people. Because they want to see me fail. Okay? Because if I fail, then there's a good probability that this fucking house owner over here will convince my landlords to let him rent out this house for more money, if not sell this house to him. And if it's not this fucking dude, is that dude. Or the one that bought the 2 houses, the duplex down there, the property, quote-unquote, developer. As we know, the ground is shifting because the trees are coming up, full-grown trees, not even 3 houses down, 2 of them in less than a week, all in 1 week, 2 of them, full-grown fucking trees with leaves and everything that look like they're alive, just being ripped up out of the ground, falling on things, busting shit up, practically killing people because the ground is so saturated with water because of all this property development. As my house is slowly but surely shifting because I can feel it. Okay. I'm wondering about my tree, this big pine tree. I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. And I even told this guy next door. I said, you need to be aware that the trees are being ripped up out of the ground in the neighborhood because of all this quote-unquote property development. But these guys next door, they don't want to help with the fucking roof to prevent this leaking, right? What, my stairs are going to rot out? And then what? What were they going to tell me? I can't use my back stairs? I have to go around every time I want to go into the fucking basement? Is that what's going to happen, people? Because it's just a matter of time before the fucking stairs rot out because of the water. It pools in the fucking basement. It gets all fucking grody. It's enough that I'm having to deal with the shit out there that I deal with, that I've been dealing with, right? You know, go into my videos, right? Okay? So because they're not responding, right? Nothing will get done unless I climb up that ladder and try and do it for myself. Because for whatever reason, I'm expected to fucking change the lights by myself, right? I'm expected to climb fucking ladders and fix fucking leaky roofs. Well, they're not leaky roofs. Leaky, you know, you got your roof, and then you've got your porch canopy. It goes like this, but there's no lining. So the water is dripping down onto everything, and then it pools in the fucking garage and gets all over and rains on it, and crud. And you've seen the crud. You crud on my porch, same kind of crud going, right? The raccoons go out there, the fucking cats running around out there, fucking skunks running around out there, fucking homeless people trashing things around, who knows, right? All kinds of crazy shit's been going on in that garage for 11 years, people. Okay, the only reason that garage stays fucking together is because of what I've done with the X Club. Honest to God. Otherwise, that fucking canopy would have came down crashing and would have brought down the whole fucking porch, okay? And everybody's just trying to speed it up by being negligent, okay? So, you right? I'm right? Okay. I'm not rushing with this video. I don't give a shit right now. Okay? All right. Last year, I said to my landlady, we have to service the furnace. I've been here 10 years, never been serviced, not once, people. Okay? Okay, she agreed. So I said, well, since you're here, you know, take a boo at that water tank, because technically you're supposed to service them once a year too, right? But of course not, that's not happening. And he noticed rust on top. And he pointed that out, and he said, these things last 6 years maybe, right? Or a little more. And with it rusting out on top, it's going to go. So keep an eye on it. That's what he said. Keep an eye on it. And then he told me that the furnace, they don't normally last no more than 10 years. Or actually less than that. About 10 years. So in other words, I've been in this house 11 years, so 10 years last year. So the furnace was supposedly a new furnace when I moved in. So it's coming to the end of its life, okay? And I said, well, you make sure you let my landlady know. Because those big ticket items are the items that get in the way of fixing the little things that make life miserable and hard, okay? And destroys things. If it's not destroying the stairs and the fucking foundation because of the water fucking just pouring down in torrents all over the place, right? You know, it's my eyes, people, under fluorescent lights with the buzzing yet. Okay. Anyway, what does the water tank do? I mean, we were warned about it last year, so no surprises, right? On Saturday, it busted its nut. My son came home, opened the door, and there was water everywhere in the laundry room. He cleaned it up. He turned off the water. He turned off the gas. Okay, whatever. Or he turned off, I don't know, he turned off something. Yeah, he turned off the water on the tank, and he turned off the gas. But the damn thing kept leaking to the point where we actually had to turn the water off in the house in order to stop. Because after the tank drained itself or whatever was going on with it, it was still running water with the water on. So we turned off the water in the house on Saturday. Okay? Now, if my landlady has an emergency guy come in and fix it on a Saturday, it's time and a half. It costs more money. So I always try and just, you know, be sympathetic and say, okay, don't worry. It's okay. I can tough it out till Monday for you to have somebody come and replace this tank. Because it's not like we didn't know, people. We were told about it last year. We knew it was just a matter of time. Okay? Okay. Monday comes. Monday, today's Tuesday, right? Monday comes, and it's the guys that show up who did the kitchen. The guys who said that they were going to change the lights. I phoned them. They told me they were going to come. They never came. I've been asking my landlady for a year. She said, right? Right? Anyway, a year later, they're back, okay? Got a mask on. And I'm like, oh, okay, have you guys been here before? Like, you know, because you can't really tell with a mask, right? You know my eyes are going on me. No. Right? Anyway, long story short, yeah, they're the same fucking guys that were here last year working in the kitchen, okay? I mean, I ended up calling them on it after I figured it out and said, look, you know, you guys never came back and did the lights. So the one son said, well, here, I'll give you a number for a guy that can do roof stuff, and I'll give you another number for a guy that can do electrical fast, because I want a few things changed, right? Okay? I have a new dimmer that needs to be put up here, and I thought maybe we'd put one downstairs for my son. Okay? Since, you know, electricians can do this faster. I need this here light changed. I got these little dinky little things in here. They're not good for my eyes, people. I need incandescent bulbs. I have the fixture for it, and I want those fluorescent lights gone because they're killing my eyes, okay? And I have a fixture for that. And then downstairs the fluorescent lights can go because they shake and they fucking buzz, zzz, and they fucking shake, okay? And all they have to do is just put in two, like a little fixture with two incandescent light bulbs. Plus, the last time they were here, when they did that kitchen, they changed, they did, because my son was having problems with his light in his bedroom, so they put a different fucking light in there, an LED, and the damn thing broke within a month or two, and it's intermittent. You can't turn it on most of the time, and then when it's on, you know, it might just go on, or right? So I've been asking to get that fucking fixed, right? So, anyway, they're back. Okay. They come with a water tank. Okay. I figured it out that they were the same fucking guys. Okay. Right? I was copacetic. I said, okay, well, if you guys can't do the fucking... I said, now that you're here, can you do the lights now? Because I'm still waiting, people. Right? I'm willing to pay for it, $150. That's what they quoted me, people. Right? I'm playing games. Okay. So anyway. They come yesterday with a water tank. I'm gonna cry, okay? Like, don't be surprised if I don't fucking cry here, okay? And they spent hours and hours and hours with the damn thing because it's defective. So I'm going up and down the stairs. I got Amari up here, right? You know, I can't, right? They're down there, right? It's not like I can do a lot of shit because they're in the laundry room, right? It smells like gas in there because they got a fucking gas leak. Because after they installed the water tank, which is actually smaller than what I had, and then they tried to lie about it, telling me no, it was the same size. And I'm like, yeah, I'm blind as a bat, but I can tell that it's fucking smaller. Plus, they started taking out the copper pipes, joints, and started running in plastic pipes, because by bringing in a smaller tank, they had to increase the flute, like the pipe. There's a big round pipe, right, that attaches to the tank. Well, because that tank was smaller, they had to add in another piece, and then they had to start changing all the fucking joints. They had to start cutting all the copper pipes to run these plastic pipes, just so that it could fit. After they got everything in, they went to try and turn it on, and the bloody thing is defective. And they were gassing themselves, I swear, getting fucking high off the shit. Okay? For like 3 hours. Every time I went down, it was just smelling like gas. More gas, more gas. And I'm like, well, this isn't right. Like, right? Like, what's going on? Because there's a faulty... The part that controls, it's a little white thing. There's something faulty in there. Okay? And I'm like, well, that's no good, right? Oh, don't worry. You know, and they tried to make it sound like they were going to take it back and exchange it and come with a new tank. But then they came back with that fucking tank, same one, and put it back, right? And then fucking jimmied it up where it's not working. So they're going to come back today. All right. That was a whole day wasted with 3 hours of gas in my laundry room. Okay? Right? So I get up this morning. They're telling me, okay, they're going to come back and replace a part that relates to a gas valve, obviously, right? Okay, but I don't feel very good about it, people. Because not only did they fucking lie to me and tell me that they weren't here before, when in fact they were the ones that did my fucking kitchen. They're the ones who told me that they were going to do my fucking lights and never fucking did. And told me that they were going to come when I called them and never fucking did. Told my landlady that they were going to come and do it, but they never fucking did. But now they're here with a fucking defective fucking water tank. Okay? All right. Telling me they're not the same guys when in fact I'm like, you are the same. Okay? I recognize your dad. Right? Okay? And, you know, clearly you can't fix whatever's wrong. So now they have to go get another part, and they were going to come and exchange the part. But I get up in the morning, the more I think about it, next thing you know it, I'm on YouTube, or on Google, I should say, Googling defective water tanks. Where do I start looking about defective water tanks? Because I have to live here, people. It's enough that my fucking porch is fucking rotten and the water is pouring all over the place and the door is fucking, you know, doing whatever, right? And you know, and my eyes are going because of this shit. Like, right, whatever. Okay? Now I have to worry about a fucking defective freaking lemon water tank blowing its gas gasket any time of the next umpteen however long I live here for. A lemon is a lemon, okay? And if it's new, it should be taken back and get a new product, right? I tried to tell them this, and they're like, oh, no, we can't, because, you know, it's installed now. The company said we can't take it back. This is what they told me yesterday. I told the dude, you make a good salesman. Because, and I'm like, I mean, what am I supposed to say? Right? Right? Well, you're not paying for it. I know I'm not paying for it, but I'm the one that fucking has to live here. Okay? But you guys got me so fucking paranoid now that I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is Google defective water tanks so I can understand what I'm dealing with here, people, being that it's a new product. Okay? And being that I don't get a fucking choice here other than a bunch of, it seems to me like a lot of running around. Okay? Well, my landlady pays for it. Whether she's whether she thinks it's okay or whether they're taking advantage of her, I don't know, because I do believe that there has been times that people have done shit around here that have taken advantage of her. Okay? Just because they're Punjabi doesn't mean that they don't stab each other in the back, because they do, just like everybody else in the world. All right? So anyway, now I'm on YouTube looking at videos about, you know, this little, because it's not the old knobs anymore. They have little pads. Okay? And clearly there's issues. And I'm like, the more I'm thinking, I'm scared now, people. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I see they have a little gas tester. So now I'm on Amazon. And I'm like, okay, after they install this lemon, I'm the one that has to live in this fucking house with all these fucking problems still after all this fucking time. Only this is one big problem that could be extremely dangerous and deadly. Okay? Right? And now I'm on Amazon trying to figure out how I can determine if there's gas, if there's a gas leak when people are sleeping or whatever. Right? Gas rises. It's in the laundry room. Even the door will open. You know, if there's gas, it's rising. My son walks by, goes into the kitchen, turns on the stove. Who knows? Anything's possible, people. Anything's possible. It's defective product. It's a new product. Fucking take it back if it's defective. Don't come in with your spare parts. Don't come in with your gray tape and do a Mickey Mouse job in terms of selling a product, that is. Okay? So now I'm on Amazon and I'm ordering a gas detector. And I'm reading. And really they're not as chalked up as to, like, it's a hit and miss. Some people say, hey, yeah, they're good. Other people, right? So, you know, I don't know anything about gas detectors, like a smoke detector type. All I know is they plug into something. You have to plug it in. Technically, they should be higher because gas rises, right? And you don't want it with too much humidity, but I'm just putting it where there's an available plug in my laundry room, which is plugged in with my wash machine. So I don't know how that's going to work. All I know is I don't feel safe with this tank. I just don't. Enough so that I spent like $70 for this gas detector. Okay? Now there's this other little detector that has a little hose that you can go real close and figure out where the gas leak is coming from. It's called a gas sniffer. I didn't buy that because I didn't think it was my responsibility to do that, people, because I'm not the one that's opening up the fucking machine and taking out parts and doing this and doing that and trying to, right? That's not right. I didn't feel I needed that, but okay, I had to tell you though, I noticed it, right? And I settled for just the one that plugs in that is like all the time. So that if for some reason there's a gas leak in the middle of the night, it will start beeping. It will alert my son, or maybe I might hear it upstairs, which is a hit and miss. At least there's some kind of warning, okay? Being that I'm left with a defective product that supposedly is supposed to be new, okay? All right. So anyway. Day goes by. Now remember, I have no hot water. Okay? The water wasn't turned on until yesterday, late in the afternoon. So I went Saturday without water, half a day. I went Sunday all day without water. And I went a half a day of Monday without water. And then finally, I got cold water, okay? Which is fine. You know, I'm not trying to overtax my landlady because I still have to get these gutters fixed, these pipes or whatever, right? Because, and hopefully it's just a little piece, people, so that it doesn't rot out the stairs and accumulate more crud and eat the cement. Okay? Right by down there, right? I'm not even asking for the door, the sliding door. Right? Right? I try and just ignore it and hope for the best. Right? Because my landlady doesn't want to pay $800, $700 for a new door. She wants a used door. But the problem is that size of a doors, you know, there's only, where are you going to get used sliding doors from? Never mind finding somebody to piece it in, especially if it doesn't fucking fit right. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the water tank. So, all right, now I'm spending $70 for a gas detector. I'm on the phone because on Monday, one of the sons gave me a number for an electrician guy because I'm trying to get my son's light fixed in his bedroom. I'm trying to get those fucking vibrating, humming fluorescent lights out of the kitchen, as well as up here out of the kitchen, in addition to just, you know, changing these so that I can see better, right? I mean, if you want $250, fuck, I'll pay $250. Right? Whatever. Okay? Okay, I'll tell you this story because I'm just going to tell you this story. Okay? All right? So everything's like, you know, right? So I'm on the phone. One dude doesn't want to talk to me because don't know the the son's name. So I have to get the son to phone him to let him know that he gave the number to me so that he can come and give me an estimate to do this shit outside with these fucking pipes, with the gutters and shit, right? And the porch, and the stairs, dripping. And to test the wood on certain parts of the porch to make sure it's not rotting out. And if need be, put in a couple of beams. That's all. It's pretty straightforward. Right? Okay. And then I'm on the phone with the electrician guy. He's telling me he's coming to the house today. That's what he told me, people. He told me he was going to come to the house today. So I'm like, okay, I got to stay upstairs and wait for this dude. Right? I can't take the kids downstairs, right? You know, and right? And work and don't know when these other guys are coming. And so, you know, I'm just kind of like I washed my dishes in cold water today, people. Because I had no water, right? So I'm getting caught up with my fucking dishes, right, people? Okay? So it's not like I can really go downstairs and focus on what I started, okay? Because before the water tank broke, I just started pulling out all the fabric bins. So they're in the hall right now, okay? Because I'm trying to put away this food storage, okay? And it's interrupting my son's life. Okay? Because things aren't moving fast enough for him. Right? But I'm dealing with a water tank, and I'm trying to make sure that my son doesn't have to deal with a fucking gas leak. While at the same time, I'm trying to work on getting his light fixed on top of the other lights that need to be fixed. As well as I'm trying to deal with these leaky fucking shit outside. And when I tell this to my son, oh, it's not your responsibility, that's the landlord's responsibility. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it doesn't work like that. All right? So the day goes by. I wash my dishes in cold water because the dude phones me up, says he hasn't gotten the part yet, but yet he's working, right? That's okay, right? But as day goes by, you know, I'm thinking more and more about this defective fucking water tank. Feeling more and more uncomfortable, more and more afraid. I'm already afraid about my sliding door, okay? I've been asking for years to get it fucking changed. All right? All I ever do is get a lot of fucking runaround. Right? The porch fucking kind of frightens me because it's old, right? And as much as I try and take care of it, nobody else cares about it, people. That's the thing. Nobody else cares about it. So therefore, because nobody else cares about it, sooner or later, it's just gonna rot out. And that's what's happening. Because nobody cares. Anyway, what was I saying? So I did my dishes in cold water. I got caught up with dishes because I had no water for a couple of days. I waited for the electrician guy to come by because he told me he was going to, but he never did. As the day went by, I got scared. I got scared with being stuck with a lemon in regards to a hot water tank that was spewing out gas for hours. Okay? And I'm supposed to feel comfortable with a spare part, assuming that this water tank is even new. Because don't forget, they tried to tell me that it wasn't them who did the basement when in fact it was. Okay? It was them who told me that they were going to come back and do the lights, but never did. Okay, you don't want to, it's not worth your time, $150, whatever. I understand that. You're not obligated. Right? So anyway, I ended up, long story short, I ended up phoning my landlady and I said, look, you do realize that you're getting stuck with a defective water tank. What do you mean, she says. And I'm like, well, you know, they're getting this part, they're going to exchange it. They're telling me that they can't take back the water tank. I've already asked them to. They're giving me a song and dance. They don't want to, blah, blah, blah. But I don't feel comfortable with this tank because, you know, I mean, it could go in a month from now. It could go in 2 months from now. It could go from a year from now, right? And then what? If it goes in a year from now and I ask her to fix it, you know what she'll tell me? I just fixed it. It's a brand new water tank. And then that will be one more thing that she can hold over my head when she has to refix it again. And whatever needs to be fixed, like the porch, won't get done, people. That's how it fucking works around here. Okay? And I can't afford to keep having this fucking leaky fucking porch the way it is. So, here's more of the story. I get an envelope in the mail today. I open it up, okay? It says that my credit has been increased with MasterCard. So basically, I got another $4,000 worth of credit today on my MasterCard, up to $12,500. I'm at $8,500 right now. I owe $800 because don't forget, Uncle John was medically kidnapped. Right? And when you have a house, you know, it is what it is, right? So anyway, I thought, fuck it. All right, you got the money for the trademark now because you kind of blew it on the food. Right? No regrets though, people, because hyperinflation will kick in. It's just a matter of time. Right? And if it's not hyperinflation, it's going to be less availability. All right? Unless, of course, you got lots of money and you're well insulated with a large family and you don't, you know, have a lot of responsibilities outside of what's in your bubble. Chances are you'll probably be okay. But for someone like me, I don't think so. So anyway, okay, well, that's good news, I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay, now you don't have to worry about money with your landlord, about getting these fucking lights done and the porch. And I'll help her out. That's what I'm thinking, right? Just fucking pay whatever it is these fucking guys want. So, in other words, if this fucking electrician guy wanted $300, I probably just would have went to the bank and taken it out on my credit card. Seriously. And just gave him the $300 fucking dollars. And then I owe my landlady $150 because she was going to pay $150, but then I paid $150. I don't know. I was supposed to pay $150, and then somehow she gave me back the money, and I don't know. Anyway, I owe her $150. So I would have paid the $150, and if need be, I would have just paid another $150, and I would have gotten all the fucking light shit done. Okay, including my son's room, right? Because I've got the money now. I got an increase of an extra $4,000 on my credit card today. All right? Thank you, Lord. Right? You know? And that still gives me enough money to do the trademark if I want. If I want, people. Okay? And the only reason I would do it would be for my American friends. Okay? That would be the only fucking reason. To give them a fighting chance. But that remains to be seen yet. Or I would do it for my grandkids. Not that another 10 years owning a trademark in the United States is going to get me anywhere in life. But I'm 21 years deep into the game. So that last 10 years, assuming that I even live for 10 years, people. Point is I have enough money to pay the electrician and then go to my landlady with the receipt and say, okay, this is what he charged me. It was $150 or it was $300. And then I'll dicker it out with her. If she wants to give me back the $150, right? Because I paid an extra $150 instead of paying $150, I paid $300, and she wants to give me back the $150 to compensate. What? Fine. If not, so be it. At least it's done. Okay? Same thing with these fucking gutters in this roof shit. If it would have costed me $300, $400, $500, people, and he was gonna do a good fucking job and get the fucking job fucking done, I would have just taken it out on my credit card and paid for it, and then taken it up with my landlord and said, look, this is what I had to pay to do this. Now what are we going to do about it? And if she says, well, it's outside, you pay for it, well, it is what it is. At least I got a leaky boat, people, and I'm not homeless tomorrow. Although, now that I'm getting into my fabric bins, and it's not like I haven't been asking my kids to help me to fucking start selling off some of this shit, people. Okay? I'm going to be selling fabric. I'm going to start selling fabric and shit. Right? Once I put the food away and everything else, I'm going to start sorting out the fabric, and with or without my kids, I'm going to figure out a way how to start fucking selling it. I got some nice fucking fabric, people. I got bolts of fabric. Okay? You know what a bolt of fabric is? A bolt is like a whole fucking thing like this with rolls and rolls and roll. I used to roll out 5 meters at a time when I used to sew, people, before I moved into this house. I don't know why my kids think I should just throw the shit away. And then they get mad at me when it just sits there and does nothing. But yet they won't help me to fucking figure it out to sell it. So, okay, I have to put the food away. So I pulled out a whole bunch of bins. They're in the hall right now. Okay? This was before the water tank broke. I told my son, I'm going to go downstairs every day, even just for a few hours. And I'm going to start working down there now, because the bulk of what I've done over the last several months is done in terms of I've packed. You've seen how I packed everything up for long-term storage to preserve it short-term, long-term, in the best way possible. Okay? I went the extra mile with the food, people, so that it remains good food. And you have to remember, a lot of this stuff is organic, okay? So now that that is mostly done, now I can really focus on how I can reorganize and put this stuff away, because it gets heavy, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put a lot of it in this corner, but then I've got bins of fabric or bins of craft stuff in there. So I had to pull out all the bins, and they're all lined up in the hall right now. And then my son, you know, he's being copacetic, although he doesn't like it because he's a big guy, and, you know, he's been living with mom for too long, and, you know, and mom's got issues, and mom's out of touch with reality, and, you know, mom tends to take things to the extreme, and, you know, mom doesn't like to give things away, and, you know, and that kind of stuff, right? But, you know, then the water tank goes, people. Then the fucking water tank goes, and everything comes to a screeching fucking halt. And I've got fucking gas in my laundry room, you know, for like 4 fucking hours, 3-4 hours, with fucking guys in and out, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay? You think about it as if I'm going to be down there working, putting shit away, moving stuff around. Yeah, okay. And then the next day, like I said, the first thing I did this morning was get up and start Googling defective water tanks and buying fucking gas detectors, trying to avoid the sniffer, thinking it's not my job, trying to figure out, pinpoint exactly where the fucking gas leak is. But not being stupid enough to realize that, where do you really want to settle for a fucking defective water tank with a whole bunch of okie dokie being sold to you so that it can bust in God knows 6 months from now, and then you take it to your landlord and it's just another excuse for her to say, oh, I can't deal with this no more. I want to get rid of the fucking house. I'm so tired of this. Well, it's not my fault that you're fucking tired of it. Maybe you should hire fucking guys that actually do the fucking job right the first fucking time. Right? That's like those plumbers. Right? They get the plumbers coming in. Next thing you know, they're breaking the fucking mainline pipe. And they made themselves $10,000, $5,000, $6,000, I think my landlord said $5,000 to trash my front yard and dig big ass holes out there and tear everything up just so they can fix what they broke. Where was I? So, okay, the electrician guy never showed up. So, of course, I'll call tomorrow, and I'll tell him, if you come by, just go around to the back. I'm in the basement. Right? That other dude is supposed to come back after work tomorrow with the part, because he's waiting for it, because he had to order the part from the actual company in order to replace it so that it doesn't leak gas, as if that makes me feel comfortable and safe. And I told him I bought a gas detector, and he's like, well, where is it? Give it to me. And I'm like, well, that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that you plug into the fucking wall so that when you're not around, and if it starts spewing out gas, my son will be able to know that there's something wrong. Okay? Oh. But after talking to him and going through what I went through with him before he left, I ordered it, people. I ordered the sniffer gas thing too. So I got 2 fucking gas things today. Cost me $120. Why? Why, people? Why? Okay? I could have spent that $150 on the fucking lights, right? As he's like, oh, they're not going to take, he ended up telling me that he bought the fucking water tank at fucking Home Depot. I'm like, okay, well, since you're telling me that they're not going to take it back, that doesn't make sense, because I told him, I already talked to my landlady, and you need to take this thing back. Oh, well, we can't. We tried. And I'm like, that's bullshit, okay? You don't go fucking Home Depot, buy a lawnmower, bring it home, and it doesn't fucking work, and then they tell you can't take it back. No, you take that fucking thing back. Ooh. And I'm like, okay, well, then give me the invoice, right? Number, and I'll phone them, all right? And I'll talk to a supervisor. Right? And let me see what I can do. Okay? Right? Because I'll tell that fucking supervisor exactly what the fuck is going on with their stupid water tank. Okay? Like, that's shady shit, if that's true, with Home Depot. Right? Not taking back that water tank. Okay? My landlord is not obligated to accept a faulty water tank. Okay? This isn't a toy. This is something that can explode. This is something that's obviously stressing me out so much that I spent $120 today just to protect my family, including my son. Okay? So anyway, oh, well, yeah, okay. You know, I'm coming back with the part tomorrow, and they're not going to... And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm going to phone them in the morning. You know, and he says, well, just give him the serial number. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then he tells me he's going to phone me and give me the invoice number, but he didn't. Okay. So anyway, fine. I phoned my landlady. I told her what I'm going to do. She goes, they bought it at Home Depot. I said, yeah, that's where they bought it from. Oh, I didn't know that, she says. I said, oh, okay. No problem. But I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. Okay? Because I don't want, in a year from now, for you to have to deal with this shit with a broken water tank. Okay? Now I'm thinking about my landlady. I mean, we already know I'm thinking about my family. But now I'm thinking about my landlady not being stressed out in a year from now. And she's still sick, people. She's still sick. Isn't that amazing? Huh? How is that happening that she's sick all the time now? Huh? How can you be robust and healthy to being sick all the time now? All right? Because of what our governments are doing and expecting individuals to accept as an order. You know what I'm talking about. Point is, she's sick. So why would I want to add more sickness to her in a year from now with a defective fucking water tank that could possibly kill my family? Well, that dude is just calm down, enjoy life. Don't worry, you're not going to explode. The house isn't going to explode. Just enjoy your life. In the meantime, he's telling me, because he's Punjabi, right, that, he doesn't want to get married. He's not like the rest of his family. And that, he doesn't want, because I told him, the reason I showed you BitchShoot, because I told the sons, I said, look, you guys need to go and do your research on this shit. You're not going to find it on fucking YouTube. Lots of censorship. But if you go up on BitchShoot and you look, you can go on to my wherever, right? And you look up, you'll see what this shit's doing to people's blood. Okay? Oh, I got saline. I've had saline before. Yeah, okay. You got lucky with the fucking saline this time. But maybe next time you might not be. And if, how much do you really know? Because it's hard to find this information. But go on to BitchShoot, go through the videos. Sooner or later, you're going to come across a few fucking videos that's going to show you exactly what the hell is going on with people's blood and what's inside these vials. Some are saline. It's been documented. Some are not. And more information is coming out. Right? But because this guy doesn't care about life in general, it was pretty apparent. 25 years old, didn't want no kids, didn't want to get married. That's unusual for a Punjabi. Okay? Every Punjabi gets married. But this one doesn't want to get married, so I guess he's the black sheep in the family. But his father expects him to do things for him because that's the way they are, right? So anyway, that's his business. But, where did that come from? I was trying to mentor him by saying, do your research before you go off and make a life-altering decision that could potentially harm you and your family. Why should I? I want to travel. I said, yeah, but think about your kids because, I don't have kids. I said, okay, well then, but you're young. You have your whole life. I don't care. I just, in the end, he did kind of tell me that the reason he was having to do it was because of his work. He used travel as an excuse because his dad was there. But at the end of the day, it more had to do with work. And he felt that he had no choice because his work was pressuring him to do it, although he didn't agree with it. And therefore, because he was being pressured in order, this is what I got from him, right? Because he was being pressured to do it through family, through church, temples, the guru, right? The fucking Borg, whatever, on top of his employer, right? He says, fuck it. Fuck it. And that's what he told me. Just live your life. Be happy. Don't worry if the house won't explode. And I'm like, easy for you to say. But I keep reminding him that he would make a good salesman. Because he's trying to sell me this fucking defective water tank. And I'm like arguing, I don't want it. Get it out of here. It's they tried to make it look like they were going to exchange it, and then they brought it fucking back. And now they got me sitting here on lockdown with the stupid thing, holding me fucking hostage to it. And so I'm so hostage to it, I spent $125. What, am I going to go down every fucking day with my little gas sniffer trying to figure out if it's fucking leaking gas? I told this dude, I've been in this house for 11 years. I have never ever once worried about my house blowing up, but now I do. Okay. All right. So anyway, my son gets home. Of course, I didn't do anything yesterday. I promised him I would. I didn't do anything today because I was waiting for the fucking electrician dude to come, right? I was waiting for these other guys to come. Plus, I was washing my dishes in cold water, looking after Amari, right? You just, trying to, figure out, trying to make the right decision, right? In terms of, okay, just buy the gas detectors and, right? Oh my fucking Lord. So anyway, I shouldn't say it like that. Oh Lord. So anyway, my son takes Andre out to cut pumpkins. And because I had that money on my credit card, I ended up buying a batch of jars at Canadian Tire because I'm just finishing up everything. I'll show you. Oh. See? I don't know what happened to my foot there, people. My foot went dead on me. Did you hear that? I almost tripped. My foot just fell asleep. Anyway. Oh, this smells so good. I told you I'm at the end of my... Okay, now, there's a reason why I bought this. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to do it, people, but the goal is... Do you see this? Do I have it the right way? Oh, God, it smells like licorice. It's so good. It's a 5-pound bag. And I bought that 1 pound, and I bought 5 pounds. It costed me $90. I can't leave it in the bag, people. Now, 2 reasons why I bought it. 1, because it's good for you, especially in this day and age with this crap that's going on. Okay? It has medical properties in it that can help to boost up your immune system, to ward off evil spirits. Second reason I bought it, after everything all settles down, all put away, people can get back to normal, I am going to be typing out something and a petition separate too. And when I go out, I don't know, I don't get out very often, but when I do, I'm just gonna set up shop, I guess you could say. In other words, I'll just find a corner with a little sign asking for help for people to sign the petition for justice for Shimei with the court, right? And I'm going to be asking for donations for the quote-unquote courthouse because as a poor person, I'm expected to pay for it, right? But people don't like to give money unless they receive something. And that's just, I learned that with the foundation, right? It's not so much the value of the gift as it is that they get a little something. So if I'm like going around the house thinking, okay, well, when you go, you can, on Amari's buggy, you can put a few of your things, like a book or a teacup with a saucer, a china teacup with a saucer, you know, maybe some salt and pepper shakers you don't need because, you know, whatever, right? And, you know, if they make a donation, they can pick. This is the $5 pile. This is the $10. You can pick what you want, right? Take. I don't need it. My kids are telling me to get rid of it. But I need help with court, right? Well, it's the same thing with this stuff. These will be in little bags with a little something explaining what it's good for, right? People may choose that, and maybe they don't know. And maybe that might be something that would be good for them. Make them feel better in their lives so that they're not so scared and depressed with what our governments are doing. And then I've got seeds. I'm collecting my seeds. See? This camera is hard for me to see. These are my seeds from my garden. And I've bought seeds. So, as, you know, a gift, they can have a little seed packet and go home and... That's cucumber. Pickling cucumbers. Go home and plant a garden. What's this? I don't even know. Right? Just little things. Now, whether I get to that point, I don't know. I'm so busy and worn out. It's not like I get a lot of support. It's more like I get sabotaged all the time. Right? Anyway, that's why I bought it. But I needed the jars to preserve it, to keep it fresh. Whether I use it personally, because I kind of like that smell. I just need to get rid of everything and just settle down, right? And then incorporate it. I mean, that would be nice in pea soup, honestly. Just a nice little taste with those organic peas, with some of them sprouted. Oh boy, that would be good. Anyway, or as a thank you for a donation with general information to help people to boost their immune systems. Why not, right? That's why I bought it, people. Those two reasons. But I have to store it. And versus buying those big jars, because I've got enough of those now, I ended up, just because I got that money on my credit card, I ended up buying my last batch of jars to cover for everything that I've got left to do, because I did buy 44 pounds of wheat, people. That's my last one. Anyway, we'll talk about wheat later, right? I don't know if I'm going to use these jars for the wheat, but definitely for, you know, I've got chilies and this, and I've got Amari's, what is it called? And I'm going to feed it to Andre too, that beetroot powder, and, you know, I need jars for that, okay? So I spent, you know, money on jars, right? And I bought extra just because I can either go into my freezer. This is a long video. I can either go into my freezer. Is it still recording? Yeah. And pull out some meat and can it. And that will freeze up my, you know, right? Or Pastor Granny will come by and give me some meat. But I have no room in my freezer. So I just wanted to make sure I had backup jars. So either or, it doesn't matter. Right? Or maybe she'll come and give me vegetables. Who knows? All I know is I just wanted backup. Because you just don't know. Because I won't be using them all. But I definitely needed some to finish up what I'm doing. So, right? So that when it's put away, we know it's good to go. And I didn't bother anybody to pick it up. I ended up paying a taxi to pick it up for me and bring it to me. It's not like I ask my son to do these things all the time. Okay, so anyway, he comes and he gets Andre, they go out, they carve pumpkins. He comes back. Don't forget, we don't have hot water yet, people. Okay? We haven't had any hot water since Saturday. And we just got our water back yesterday. Okay? So, of course, for 2 days, those bins have been sitting downstairs because I've been dealing with this shit, right? I just told you. And my son just went fucking off on me, people. He ended up going out there and started trashing things around like the good old fucking days. Accusing me of this and accusing me of this, telling me that I'm the one that's out of touch with reality, right? And because I asked, and all it took, people, is I asked those pinto beans and those from Argosy Farms came, my last 2 buckets. Tomorrow, I'll take the camera down. I'll show you where I've got them. I did find the missing bucket, so I've got them where I want them, and I'm going to put the 2 beans in there, and then I'm going to, right? But I've been busy for the last 2 days dealing with water tank issue shit. Okay? And he ended up going out in the garage, I don't know, and just started fucking trashing shit around and threw stuff out of the fucking laundry room and it's called displaced anger. Better wood, old broken down picture, who fucking cares, whatever. It's because I don't get enough help, people. Tisha started bleeding, so I have been telling her just, I don't expect you to start moving things around if you're bleeding. She just had a C-section with the baby, she's nursing, and she's bleeding, right? So, like, she's going now for a fucking ultrasound. I can't ask her to fucking start helping me move things around just to make it so it's easy for my son to walk around, right? You know? And my son doesn't want to fucking move too much because, you know, he works and he's tired and it's not his responsibility. And, you know, I'm already over infringing on his space, but then I remind him he only pays $625 fucking dollars a month, so he can't expect that much. Right? Tisha's going to be moving out, and when she moves out, I'm going to be taking her over her fucking rent. So what that will do is it will bring me down to no money. My money will go to rent and bills, basically, and a little bit for fucking fresh milk if I buy it. And eggs. That's when I'll be going to Pastor Granning and saying, look, all my money is going to rent. And then I'm going to take Tisha's room and I'm going to sort out my fucking life with that fucking fabric. And I'm going to find a way to try and start selling the shit, because chances of me sewing it all is nil to none. I want to sew some stuff for Amari. Oh, where's that teddy bear fabric? Oh, look at this fabric. I found it. It's so nice. I gotta watch my foot. It gave out on me. You know why it did that? I can tell you why it did that. Because 2 days ago, I was lifting those heavy bins and everything all by myself. And Amari is getting heavier. He's long. And he's getting heavier, even though I always get critiqued. Anyway. In terms of, he's not that Amazon. But look at this. I might get Auntie Shemay's sewing room back yet. Look at this. Oh, it's so nice. I so miss sewing, people. Life was simpler in those days. This is fleece. This is what I need to make for Amari, because he's outgrowing all his sleepers. And he gets dirty quite a bit. So you're having to change him, right? Because, you know, even when you feed him, you know, I got to make bibs, but he always tries to rip off anything that I put around him. And if you know, drinking bottle, he dribbles and or juice. He's always going like this, so he splashes it around. But he's getting strong. Oh boy, he's getting strong. This way. Here's the face is here. Here's the face. See? It was in those bins downstairs, people. That are sitting in the hall. It's disturbing my son. And I simply asked them to take one bucket down because they're 24 pounds. They're 24 pounds. And I'm kind of tired. And he just went off. Went downstairs and started breaking shit up. I thought he outgrew that. I told him he acts like fucking Brooks. That's what Brooks would be like when fucking Brooks wasn't getting his own way. Like, what is it with these fucking kids? They don't get their own fucking way. Oh, he wants to be a king. He expects mother to treat him like a fucking king. He's not a fucking king. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I asked him to get rid of my car. Right? Sell it. But then his girlfriend's dad wanted to do something with it. With him to teach my son how to do, like to learn what certain parts of a car is. I said, fine, okay, take it apart, do whatever you got to do, and then let old Betsy go. Get rid of the one in the fucking front, still sitting there, right? He won't, right? Anyway, I don't know. You've seen just a little bit. I don't know. I won't know until I get out there, as if I got time to pick through that shit now, right, people? Right, people? As if I got fucking time to go outside and pick through my stuff that's broken. I don't know what he broke. I won't know till tomorrow. Point is, he won't clean it up. As I deal with fucking shady people that are smiling up in my face. More than likely, probably lying. Right? I'm everybody's bitch. I get treated like a fucking dog around here. Seriously. Worse than a dog. Dogs get treated better than I get treated, people. Okay, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm getting teary-eyed again. You just keep towing that line. In a year from now, I know I have food, okay? And I got good food, people. And I'll probably have a good water tank too, if I just stand my ground. With Home Depot, that is. Right? Because if it's Home Depot that's preventing these guys from fucking exchanging this water tank, then they're going to get blasted by me. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're putting my family at risk to fucking injury. Quite possibly death. My landlady's paying for a new fucking product. It should be in tip-top shape. Okay? She doesn't need to be Mickey Mousing around with a lemon. And that's what I'm going to be telling the supervisor at Home Depot tomorrow. And if they think they can fucking hang up on the phone with me, I'm going to warn them. If you think you're going to hang up the phone and think I'm just going to go away, I will show up there in a taxi with my grandchildren, and you will see for yourself that I am not kidding. and I will be speaking to the supervisor, asking to speak to the supervisor above him or her. Because that's some shady shit. Oh, the parts, they bust them up when they're moving them around, and these water tanks, they're famous for these problems, and I'm like, okay, well, what about a different brand? Oh, they all have problems, and it's a hit and miss, you don't really know, and you gotta take what you can get, and I'm like, well, take that one fucking back, put it in one of your new fucking houses that you're fucking working on, and bring me a new fucking water tank, because I don't need my landlady or anyone else in this house being stressed out in 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, or 2 years from now, or fucking 5 years from now, because that will probably be the last water tank in this house before the property developer comes and tears down the house to improve the neighborhood.